Krisen.
Crisis.
Krise hat eine Führungsrolle.
Pour faire face à la crise.
We have a duty to learn the lessons of the crisis and to focus on the creation of growth and jobs.
To tackle this crisis.
The project, as we had always believed would work, didn't work anymore because people didn't believe in a better future.
Europe has three major problems today. All three are similar in the sense that they are half-baked, half-hearted, half-finished reforms. One was the European Monetary Union without a fiscal union. The other one is the borderless European Union, introducing the Schengen rules and bringing down internal borders without protecting the external borders. And the third one is creating a European foreign policy and foreign trade community without creating a joint defense and security policy.
The wrong approach is to say we need more Europe and then let's see how that we get there. Now we have to start bottom up and then draw all the conclusions for the European agenda.
The first years of the project, we had certain principles. We had an analysis of where we think that the European Union stands today. We started with different options, discussed them in the member states, the pros and the cons, but the idea never was that we would end with different options, but that we would have a clear idea at the end of the process of what we think needs to be done in Europe at the current point of time. But we thought that starting with different options would at least show people what potentially is possible in order to foster the debate, but then again come to a conclusion which is not 5 options, but one idea of what needs to be done.
When we look at the divisions in Europe, it is important that we not only have a debate here in Brussels. It is important that we bring in voices from the member states. Voices that have different opinions on the future of Europe, that have a very different political background, but also work background. And it is important to bring in citizens.
The initial purpose of the new Pact for Europe in that second phase was to bring basically people together and to get them to talking, but also get them to listening. Our analysis at a certain point was that there were very broad and very serious issues weighing on the European Union, but they were not equally important to everybody. So there was the security issue, very important for Eastern Europeans, and the economic issues, very important for Southern Europeans. And then there was the migration issue, very important for certain countries, but not for others.
What made this project different was this idea of working within transnational groups. This is to say, for instance, in the case of Portugal, we did a meeting with our Finnish colleagues in Lisbon, and we did a meeting with our Estonian colleagues in Estonia. And as things progressed, it made us ask the fundamental question, which is, why did we join the European project? And for us, Portuguese, the answer is the political element. We wanted progress, we wanted economic prosperity. When we asked the question to, for instance, our Finnish colleagues, their answer was security, and Estonia the same. For them, the big issue was, in a nutshell, Russia. And for us, Russia is clearly a non-issue from all points of view. So If you want to be in a project where you want to have a win-win situation, you really have to understand what for the other side is clearly non-negotiable.
Part of the solution lies in understanding the different interests of the actors, right? The different interests. If you take Europe at the level of nation states, each of the nation states has a different accumulation or constellation of challenges that they are looking at, and they will prioritize differently. So take Poland, for example. Poland never went into recession. So when we talk about the financial crisis or about austerity, that means something different in Poland than it does in Greece, for example.
It's a very early attempt to try and create a pan-European demos or find a forum for the citizens to talk to each other and not just politicians talking to each other.
I think what's important about the analysis coming out of this process and the solutions that are presented through these very different stakeholders is that it tries to take a more comprehensive look, not only at the self-interest, which is legitimate of each and every country, but also about the common interest and how that in the end will impact each and every one of these individuals and the citizens and the countries within Europe.
The basic concept, the idea is that we need a win-win package deal which reflects the different interests and concerns in the different member states, and that package deal would make us progress in the key areas: migration, security, defense, and EMU reform.
This project ran over 5 years, and we always adapted it to the actual political context. So the current context is that Europe needs some time to decide on what to do about its future. And we hope that this year is going to be a year of opportunities, a window of opportunity, that the ideas that we have developed will be taken into account.
If you don't move beyond the current state of affairs, if you don't fulfill the expectations, that will play into the hands of the anti-forces. Those who are anti-EU, anti-Euro, anti-liberal, they will be the ones cheering if the EU is not able to use the current window of opportunity, and I fear that we will see that in the EP elections in 2019.